couple of weeks ago was the Indy Grand Prix of Alabama. I'll put a link to the video here. I'm not actually sure which side it comes up on. I'll put a link to it up above and you can go take a look at the short video I made. Whilst we were there, we took quite a few pictures, and today we'll go through editing those pictures. So as you can see here, I've loaded the images into Lightroom. Let's go and develop some of them. Well, we got a nice big pole there, which doesn't make out for a good picture there. This is down at turn 5. This here is turn 5 at Indy, Barber Motorsports. The reason I placed myself here is this was the best opportunity. This is the best overtaking opportunity on the track, and this is also the place where you see most action. A lot of spectators place themselves so they can see the run into turn 5 and turn 5 and then the run back out again. Nice and sharp. F56 ISO 400 1/16,000th 1600th. No, let's not crop that. Let's just enable lens profile. Give me some contrast and clarity on that. As I've said in previous videos, I like contrasty pictures. I like things to pop and stand out. So you'll often see me increase the contrast and clarity and also the vibrance of each picture just to make things pop. Get the dehaze in a bit. It's a little bit dark, so we'll boost the shadows just a touch here. That looks not bad. Save that one off. This is just the sequence. Coming out. See if we can get a good clear shot of them coming back out. Getting close. Then we got a pole in the way. Still got a pole in the way. Now we've got a sign in the way. There we go. As you can see here, you've got a little bit of spin on the wheels. It gives the car that sense of motion. It's not completely frozen. That's because it's taking up 1/800th of a second and not something like 1/4000th of a second, which would completely freeze this. Same on the front. You've got a nice little spin on the wheels. But the car itself is sharp, tack sharp. This is the kind of thing that we'll look for. Now, do I want to crop this or leave this? If I crop it, what do we end up with? That looks good cropped. So let's stick cropped. It really didn't need to be cropped. There's a little bit much on the highlights. I could have got away with that full frame. I just wanted to crop it a bit and make the actual car itself larger. There we go, that's nice. Save that one, export. Okay, on to what we got here. Going behind a sign, that's the same car. Angle, and it's basically taking it all the way up the straight. all the way up the straight, right behind billboards and everything. So here's another car coming down into turn 5. It's 1/1000th of a second this time. Still at ISO 400. Spin on the wheels, tack sharp, and he's apparently in position 8. I think these initial pictures were taken during qualifying. This isn't the actual race as of yet. But I like that composition the way it is. The pits in the background, the car coming down. So we're going to leave this picture uncropped. A bit more contrast, a bit of clarity that brightens it up. So we'll take highlights down a touch. We don't really need to dehaze it that much. Profile on. Nice picture, and it shows things in context. So no doubt I'm following this car down to the corner. Here he is coming into the corner. Now, one thing I didn't notice, at least didn't notice a lot of, was the drivers locking up wheels. Makes for a good picture, you get the smoke coming out from behind the wheels, but these drivers are very good at what they do and hardly ever lock up a wheel. So I won't blame them for that. And there we go, we've actually got wet weather tires on the car. This isn't using slicks. That would make a nice crop though, so let's actually crop this one. Add some contrast, clarity, take down the highlights, bring up a little bit of the shadow so you can see. There we go. Vibrant, saturation, get it popping a bit, and then that just cleans things up nicely. Export. Now, no doubt, like other cars, I've got him coming up the straight, pole in the way, sign in the way. There we go. Don't want the Monster energy drink. Clouding things. We've still got the spin going on in the wheels. We're back at 1/1000th of a second. That's looking good. It's a little flat. Take down the highlights, take up the contrast. Take up the clarity and the vibrance. There we go, we're starting to get things popping. There we go. Look at the colours coming through now. Just that bit. That looks good. Export. Same set going on. We've got them coming up the straight. behind emergency vehicles and off into the distance. I don't like that it's half hidden. Behind a sign, and I've got something, some pole or something on the left hand side here. I can't remember exactly where I was standing for this, but it was somewhere down around the banking on opposite turn 5 at Barber's. 1/1000th, but there's not as much. He must be going fairly slow. See if we can get him on a bit. And he's got a webcam attached to the top of his car. And British, Australian driver. Okay, we'll leave this one in full context. It's not bad. Little flat, so take down the highlight, up the shadows a little bit, give me some vibrance. There we go, things are popping. There we go, nice picture again. Export. One of each car. We've already got lots of pictures at that angle. Let's see if we can get them further down the road. Wow, very bright car. Okay, let's crop this a touch. Still get the Monster energy drink going in. Look at the yellows in the histogram. Just a bit off the scale here. We're actually clipping some shadows. I don't actually... Oh, here we go. Just under the car. Yeah, we're never going to fully get rid of them without adjusting the exposure, but the exposure is actually fine. It's just, it's a very vibrant car. Whoa, that's too vibrant. Wow, that really is a bright car. There we go. That sorted it out. Export and export. Into the corner we have again the wet weather tires. Position number 1. I think this was Dixon. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not quite up on IndyCar drivers. I could tell you Formula 1 drivers, not so much the IndyCars. I do like watching the races, however. Position 1. If memory serves me correctly, this was Scott Dixon, but don't quote me on that. Coming up, I don't want the car behind the signs. There we go, let's do full crop on this one. Bring it in. Now the bad thing about doing full crops like these, you'll see, it makes the car nice and big, however it's a weird, it's not a standard picture profile. Just move that behind a little. Okay, I do like the colours. This was shot with a Canon 1DX Mark II, my regular sports camera, and I do actually like the colours it comes out with out the box. You don't really need to do that much to it, unlike, for example, my Sony, like that one, export. They're better at different things, however. The Canon is superb at people's skin tones, that sort of thing. And I do also like it in these situations. The Sony, however, is really good at landscapes. I love the colours. It's got more of a greenish hue to the RAWs than the Canon. The Canon is slightly more reddish magenta. He's not actually showing a number. Let's get him in the corner. They're taking a wide angle here. I prefer when they were clipping. This is practice. This was practice. This was after qualifying. Qualifying was on Saturday. This was on the Sunday, so this was practice before the race. It had rained in the morning, and therefore, that's not bad. I'll take that one, just get rid of the wall. Get rid of the wall means bringing this in a touch. There we go, that'll do. It had rained in the morning, and there was a threat of rain for the afternoon, but it did stay dry. There's one or two spots, but essentially it was dry. So the warm-up, the practice in the morning, the cars were going out on groove tyres, the wet tyres. However, come race time, they were all on slicks. There we go. Export, export. So there's the car coming up, and you gotta love it when somebody stands up right in front of your photo shoot. Car's still perfectly in focus. What is this taking at? F5, 5.6. I still can't remember what this was. I think it was the pole. Number 19. Let's get past the practice. Are we getting in a bit here? It's coming down to the corner. Yeah, still on the groove tires. It's not. They're not clipping the apex. They're going well wide at that corner. During the race, they clipped the apex. Lots of sharp pictures. Just not quite what I'm looking for at the moment. There's a slightly different angle though. We'll take this one on the way. Fuzzy's Vodka, never heard of it. Okay, we got contrast, give me some sharpness. We need to bring up the shadow so that we can see the grooves on the wet weather tires, which in turn increases the highlights. You bring down the highlights a bit. Now remember, everybody's got their own style of editing. Everybody likes their own style of pictures. Position 0, not sure what that means. This is the way I like my pictures. I like them to pop. I like lots of vibrance. I like the colours jumping out at you. Let's get a little bit underexposed. That's better. Export that one. Back again, recording 2. Okay. Do we have one of this car? AutoNation DHL? I'm not sure. Now here's something interesting. We're following the car round. Are we in the race yet? No, we're still on groove tires. So we're following the car, and then suddenly, I don't know why, we're completely out of focus. 1, 2 frames. 3 frames. Looks kind of neat, but way out of focus. 4 frames, that's still out of focus. This is taking at 1/1250th of a second. It should be like this. It should be tack sharp, and there we go, tack sharp again. I have no idea what happened during those 4 frames. Now this was shot at 12 frames a second. So to have 4 frames in the middle of your run, just completely, I don't know what happened. It's unusual. So let's crop this one. I like this picture. Don't want the walling in it, however. Let's get some flowers in the background. We got some nice roses. Give me some clarity on that, yes. Bring up the vibrance. There we go, get some colours popping. Look at the reds and the greens. We can now see the hubs of the wheels. Bring up the shadows. Bring down the highlights a bit to make it pop a bit more. And don't really need the dehazer that much. That looks good. Let's export that. Export, export. Now this is all, here we go again. Out of, oh, passing in front of the post. I wonder if that's what happened the last time. The post was jacking up the focus on the camera. And also you get people standing right in front of your camera, which adjusts the focus as well. The camera's not sure where. Although it's doing a fairly good job. This is definitely in focus. Anyway, camera autofocusing systems will never be 100% correct 100% of the time. It just won't happen. The 1DX Mark II, however, has an amazing focusing system. And as you can see, virtually every single shot is in focus. The subject that we're actually tracking, it's doing a superb job. Oh, this person's #1 now, 27, I thought. Anyway, we want to get past this. Did we try for some weird shots here? That's right, this is through the fence. So this is coming up the back straight. And I think, yes, as you can see, the car is actually traveling faster than what I'm panning. These things are seriously quick. Don't want the umbrella in the way. Get past the umbrella. Now we could get a shot here. I could crop that. It is very sharp. And get a nice picture. I would love it more if this person wasn't here and the edge of this umbrella wasn't here. Sometimes you've just got to take what you can get, however. Do we want to crop that? No. Let's keep going. Let's get... Do we have somebody? Let's try and get into the race. This is all practice. Keep going, keep going, keep going. He seems to be getting a little bit closer. Still on the groove tire, so this is still practice. I think between practice and the... Wow, look at that for... So out of focus. Out of focus, and this is at 1/4000. Focusing on the fence. Coming up for a gap. Do we get it? Where is it focusing now? Never quite recovered from focusing on the fence. There we go, we've got it sharp now, but we're cutting off the front of the car. Another one coming up the back straight. That's slicks. That's actually slick tires. But I know this isn't the race yet. So the track must have dried out enough during practice. They went in, changed over to slicks, and here we go. So this is the end of my shooting practice. Some nice water spray coming up off the tires. And I fit back. So in between practice and the actual race, there was a lot of other things to do at Barber Motorsports. So I went, took pictures of the static car displays and the other things that were going on, and then headed back for the race. So in between the races, as I was saying, there's other things to do. We had some static, basically a car show going on. And here we have, I'm not sure what year this was, but obviously a very old Harley Davidson. Bring up saturation. Let's give it a bit more kick to it. There we go. And we'll save that one. Export. Now, taken from the other side, but as you'll see, we've got something up on the handlebars here. Nice little shot of a raccoon, or I'm not quite sure what that is, with the Harley Davidson sign. Nice shot. Now this was a changed lens at this point and went to the 70-200 f2.8. As you can see, you get a nice blurry background. This is called bokeh. Nice background on this. And I love the detail of the Harley Davidson being in focus and this little guy here in focus. Contrast. Bring that down slightly. As you can see, we were on the histogram. We were actually off. There were highlighted areas that were, in fact, we'll bring it back. So there were highlights back at 0. And as you can see, if you hover over here, you can click on it. We now have overexposed areas on the picture. So bring the highlights down and they go away. Bring up the vibrance, give the colors. There we go, we're now popping. Export that one. These are old race cars. Now when you're taking pictures of cars, here I wanted to get 3 cars in a row. I really needed to be a bit taller to get the angle I wanted, but I gave it a shot anyway. Detail inside the car. Don't just take a picture of the car if you can. Try and get some details to go along with it. Try and tell a story with your pictures. Also, you don't want to just stand there and take a picture. You want different angles. You want something that other people aren't doing. Something different. So you get down low. You can see the car here. Now here's a good picture of the front of the car with the chains. Something different. F2.8 again? Yep, 2.8. Bring up the shadows a bit. Down with the highlights. Dehaze and clutter. This person here in the background is actually the person that owns these cars. That looks good. HRE. We actually need to, let's see what happens if we, whoops, control, actually, I'm not sure what happened there. How straight are we? We were fairly straight. Export. Meh. Now here's a car, a McLaren. McLaren 12. And as you can see, it was raining in the morning. You can see the water on the bottom of the car. Don't need angle, that's actually straight. Enable the profiles. Clarity, contrast, yeah, that's it. Get it popping. There we go, there we go. That's what we want. Bring up some shadows so that we can see. Without the shadows, look at these areas here. They're just dark. Start bringing up the shadows, you can start seeing the carbon fiber in what would normally be areas that are hidden. Bring down the highlights a little bit. I'm not sure we really need to dehaze this, but that's good. That's absolutely popping. Love that. Let's export this one. What else do we have here? Oh, the Ferrari Enzo coming in. And a GT40, a Ford GT40. Now, I know I've got better pictures, closer pictures. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. This little icon down here tells you that the photo actually has GPS enabled. My camera's got a GPS built into it. When you click on that, as I did accidentally there, in Lightroom, it will actually show you that this picture, 3643, and there's the picture there, and show you exactly where it was taken. I didn't actually want to do that. That was a slight mistake, but there's a nice picture of the GT40. That's it lined up a bit more. Get the clarity, get some shadows. There we go. You can see things. In bringing up the shadows, however, we also brought up the highlights. Let's take them down a bit and start getting this car popping. The wheel rims on that. There we go. Do a little bit more vibrant. So here's the ends all backing into its spot. There it is with the driver inside. Well, gorgeous, gorgeous car. And also coincidentally, a very expensive car. Let's get the clarity going on. We're clipping some highlights. We do want shadows because it's undercover here. We want as much detail as we can get. There we go, we got the reds popping. There we go. Getting with the door coming up. Okay, shut it there. See if we can get one with the door up. So do like that one, where we can actually see inside it, and the door up. Or one with him coming out. Let's get him closing the door so we can actually see inside the car. So that's this one here. Okay, we'll take an alignment because that does look slightly off. That's a little bit better. It's a bit straighter. And let's get this one popping. I think that might be my AT&T here. Bring up the shadows, there we go. There we go, we got the reds popping. Ferrari is renowned for its red. Corsa red. There's also a Scuderia red, I think. Although it's Scuderia Ferrari, but export, you can see inside. The nice picture there. Now there's a nice picture of the GT40 with the driver hanging out the side because you can't actually see behind you in these cars. At least not very well. They were never meant for that. They were meant as race cars. What we got here? This is a Ferrari Testarossa, I think. Okay, let's try and get him backing in here. Does he hang out the window again? There he is. There we go, that's the shot. Bring up the shadows so you can see the grid work down here. I don't think that was carbon fibre. I think this car was a little bit old for carbon fibre. Bring down the highlights so that we're not clipping anymore. Contrast, give me some vibrance, let it pop. There's a grass coming in. There we go. There we go, it's perfect as it is. Export that. Click on the photograph and not where it's taken. Unfortunately, we've now got the rope in the way here. Okay, let's keep going round until we... Okay, we got the rope. It's a background here. What have we got? This is a Ferrari Testarossa, I think, fairly sure. Testarossa, there it is there. Okay, so here's a different angle on the McLaren. Look at the lines. That's a nice picture. You want something different, and just look at the gorgeous lines on this car. This angle just brings out those lines. Pump up the vibrance. Let's get some carbon fibre coming in here. There we go, you can see the under the ground effects. Bit too bright there. Let's start bringing that down. There we go. Dehaze it. There we go. We're clipping just a tiny little bit up here. And then the shadows are just, I would have to be at virtually 100% to bring those shadows out. I like that though, nice picture. We're going to stop the recording there. The rest of the images in this file are just the images from the race itself. We've already went through editing the Indy cars. This really won't be that much different. I'll post the finished images for this on my Facebook site and also on the upcoming website so that you can actually see the finished results. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope I gave you a few tips on taking photographs of cars. Thank you for watching. If you like this and want to see more, please subscribe down below. Hit the subscribe button.